Well, welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today I'm going to review a subject that, you know what, I thought I would bring it up because one of my viewers asked me a question about using, it was this particular one right here. I reviewed this one a long time ago, and this is a terrific 1/2-inch electric impact, and it's great. And the viewer wanted to know, Steve, do I have any more of these electric impacts? There's a lot of these out in the market. You can get them in, 3/8, short, stubby, all kinds of different ones. And what were my thoughts? And I told them, no, I won't buy any more of these things. I like this one. And guys, this is my go-to here. What is it? 2135 Ti, Ingersoll Rand. Guys, this is my my DeWalt. And when it comes down to it, should you buy one of these or should you go with air? Guys, I'm going to tell you my opinion, and I'm more interested in your opinion than mine, because I'm a do-it-yourselfer and I like a lot of electric stuff, like some of it. But the only other one that I have that can be considered maybe an impact is this. And this is great, but you know what? A lot of times it's big and it's clunky and there's absolutely no power in this thing really. I think it's maximum 35 foot-pounds or something. So my go-to over the years has always been small little air ratchet. And you know what? I've had these for, guys, all these tools here are all over 20 years old. I think the youngest one would be this one here. This one here is a backup. I bought this brand new so many years ago, and this is what the industry always used. Many times you go to a shop. Guys, a lot of you have been in the field a long time. You recognize it. A 231, Ingersoll Rand 231. Now, does this have like 1,000 foot-pounds of bust, driving torque and all this kind of advertisements? No, it doesn't. This was the gun that many people used many, many years ago. And this one here is about twice as strong. It's very light compared to this one. This one here is probably twice the weight. But you know what? There's something about impacts that are electric compared to these. I like these far better. I will not buy any more electric impacts. I take this up to my camp when I go up north. If I have to change a tire or something like that, it's fine. But you know what? I tell you, the biggest problem I don't like about these big clunky jobs is they're big and they're clunky. And if you ever have if you're working on something that's really, really stuck on there, guys, I tell you, this thing will twist your wrist like you wouldn't believe it. Compared to one of these. Have any of you noticed that the impact from one of these is completely different? And I'll tell you something right now. I put a torque tube on. I'll show you my torque tube I use. This one right here. 100 foot-pounds. I put it on with this. I put my torque wrench on. It's generally real close to the 100 foot-pounds. I try it with this, and it's completely different. It's way over-torqued. Like, you can't hold the trigger on too long, or you got to adjust the different modes. Guys, torque tube, electric. I'm not having much luck with it. You guys let me know if you do. Is there an electric impact like this? Just your regular, this is just a regular air hammer. And it just impacts in and out like this, to bust something loose. There's nothing out there in electric as far as I know. This is very compact, it's very light. You can put all kinds of different tips on. And, it's very easy to exchange. And this one here is, I don't know if there's a number on this. Wow. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But I like the Ingersoll Rand stuff, and I've never had no problems with them. Just oil them and that's it. Now, a lot of people got these small little impacts. You see the small little compact little impacts. Guys, butterfly. Yeah, butterfly gun. And I put the right You know, guys, reverse, forward. Sometimes when you're twisted up like this, you know, and you want to take a look, you want to go the right direction because it'll send you sideways if not. So yeah, you know, there you go. Reverse, forward. Okay, so I like the little air butterfly. Works fantastic, nice and compact and all that kind of stuff. So you see all these different electric impact guns, and they're boasting all this terrific torque and, you know, fancy numbers. Well, you know what? You get underneath the hood of any modern vehicle today, most of it's plastic. Most of the fasteners are small. The last thing you want to do is get in there with a big honking machine and just start busting everything apart. And that's what a lot of times will happen. So a lot of times, no, you don't need any of these tools. Just a ratchet and a socket and you do fine. But if you're working in an area where there's no rust and that kind of stuff, well, that's a little bit different. But you know what? You won't see me buying no 3/8 stubby, short, compact, impact, because you know what? They're all working off the same idea. You know, they always got the, you know, the batteries and this kind of stuff. And these batteries are getting more expensive all the time. Friends that work in the field, guys that I know personally that are technicians, myself, not on YouTube, but friend of mine up my camp, mountain camp, said you couldn't pay me to use this clunky hunk of crap. That's what he calls it. He goes, it's fine if you got to go out somewhere, you know, and just change a tire or something like that, that's fine. But he says, no way he could use this all day long. It's too big, it's too bulky. Yeah, guys, this is heavy, right? And he does mostly suspension work. And his theory is, guys, he can go back and forth like this, no problem. You can drop it. You can do all kinds of stuff. You know, you can grab a hold of the hose and just lower it down if you like. Air is, as far as he's concerned, and other friends of mine, and yes, some of them on YouTube, will not use electric. They like the air. They have a compressor in their shop. They get so many years out of a tool like this compared to the electrics with the batteries. And you start dropping this baby, you know, on the floor, how many times is it going to last? And one of these batteries are over $100. So, you know, I mean, these are great. Like if you're a tow truck driver or something like that, mobile guy, you know, that kind of stuff without an air compressor. Yeah, these are terrific. And they got very powerful machine, yeah, very powerful. But how much power do you need when you had something like this from 30 years ago, and all the techs in the shops were getting their jobs done with this? They didn't have no 1,000 foot-pounds of torque and nut busting monsters and all that kind of stuff. To me, a lot of it is just advertisements and sales tactics. If I'm working on something and this here ain't budging it, well, you know what I'm doing? I'm getting out my breaker bar. Because I don't care what you're working on, guys, if it doesn't budge, you know, you got to do something else. I mean, if it starts to move a little bit, yeah, you can just go with the impact back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know how many of you guys that work in the trade operate one of these daily and like it compared to the air. And that would be the main thing. A lot of people in the be looking in the comments and seeing who is actually a technician and what they actually prefer. Now for trim guns and that kind of stuff, you know, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, this cordless stuff, you know, with flashlights, that's terrific. Or, you know, like a small little impact, you know, for doing trim work or that kind of stuff. But suspension work or anything with a fastener bigger than 1/4 inch or 10 mil, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's the flexibility of not having a cord attached and that kind of stuff. But how long do these things last? I mean, they're not expensive. I mean, you can get something like this for probably around $150. You know, but I mean, the batteries don't last you forever. And you got to have a lot of batteries on standby. You have to charge them all up all the time. And you more likely have air in your shop already. Now, if you're a do-it-yourselfer like me and you don't have, let's say you don't have an air compressor. Well, this stuff is great. You know, because what are you doing as a do-it-yourselfer? Well, you're not doing the same stuff as a guy's doing that has an automotive shop every day. But I mean, for just changing a tire or doing a little bit of maintenance work here and there, that's fine. But when it gets down to somebody that's doing it professionally, that's the tools that I like to buy. I like to buy the tools that the pros are using and they're actually using. You know, and my friends, they don't use this electric stuff. They're using air. And they like it. One buddy of mine is a millwright, and he won't touch the air stuff for some things because, you know, they're just too powerful. He's working on heavy stuff, and, you know, you can't do small little fasteners, you know, with the big heavy air tools. So, I mean, there's a reverse side of this too. You can't go, you know, gorilla crazy with something like this on, you know, a small little fastener. And you can't have a big heavy air tool, you know, trying to take off a 1/4 inch bolt, right? So it goes both ways. So, but what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the electric or do you prefer the air? And how many years do you get out of something like this? Because I'll tell you something like this. This is all plastic. Like everything here is plastic. I don't think I'd want to kind of drop it a half a dozen times. You know, like if I had a hoist and it dropped off, how many times is that going to happen? You know, and if you got... guys are working with stuff where there's, you know, coolant coming down or there's oil coming down. And can you get oil and coolant and these kind of things? I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, I think they're great for a do-it-yourselfer. Stuff like this. Nice and compact. Yeah, it makes a little bit of noise. But is there anything out there in electric the size of this? Not a chance. And this does a terrific job. You know, or the air hammer. One of the best tools out in the market, you know, for busting stuff loose. And it does a terrific job. I don't see anything out there in electric. So I just thought I'd bring this up. Like I said in the beginning, I'm probably more interested in reading the comments what the people that actually do this for a living think. Whether you've bought into the advertisements of going electric or are you staying with the air. So thanks for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Make a comment below. And let's take a look and see what the average tech out there actually likes better. Cheers.